so this is my level 2 first aid kit and final level first aid kit. I probably wouldn't know how to use anything much more beyond this. Now this is basically sits in my Bugout bag, and yeah, it's for, you know, pretty serious situations, varying from, you know, all the mechanical injuries to some internal injuries as well. It's basically a replication of my one-man survival kit, but, you know, could deal with, you know, 2 or 3 people at least. Sorry, I was just missing this bit here. Right, so I'll go into it now. First up, in this bag over here, we just have a whole bunch of rubber gloves, which are relatively sterile, and some tissues in here. Now obviously the purpose of the rubber gloves are to minimize cross-infection, as in, you know, you catching anything from someone you're treating or them catching anything from you, and equally, you know, to avoid, you know, putting any germs into their wounds from your hands, etc. Obviously there are many other uses for these gloves as well, such as keeping things waterproof, or for example insulating something. I keep these in a separate bag on the outside of these 2 pouches, just so I can access them quickly, because, you know, that's pretty much the first thing that you want to grab. Obviously if you're treating yourself, then, you know, you probably won't need to take that precaution. Just well, obviously you won't need to take that precaution, but just make sure that your hands are sterilized before you get to work, or just put one of these on and, you know, proceed to work on your injury. Obviously the tissues are there, you know, they're relatively sterile too, you know, just to dab it on your cut or injury, to stem the flow of blood initially. So next up we have the this is the trauma pack, I suppose. Again, there's another pair of sterile rubber gloves in there, and also several sizes of bandage, or 3 sizes of bandage, depending on what you're dealing with. These obviously can be used to apply pressure to a wound, or alternatively to secure other gauzes in place, and can even be used as a sling if necessary, to elevate a limb which has sustained an injury. These are all kept in this completely watertight container, thus keeping them sterile and free of moisture, and usable, in other words. Equally, this bag could be used to hold water, and even to purify water in, using the water purification tablets in this other part of the kit. And you could even use the hot rock fire purifying method with this bag. It's fairly thick, heavy duty plastic. Probably wouldn't taste that great, but in a pinch could help you out. And next up we have the final part of the kit. It's kept in a watertight Tupperware container, hard shell obviously, keeps things in here nice and secure. Equally, the box can be used to purify water in. So first up we have a sling to elevate a broken arm or wrist, etc. Next up we have some blunt nose scissors. This can obviously be used for cutting clothes off if they have to be removed to treat an injury. That's why they're rounded here, so you don't cut the person by accident. Equally, these can be used to cut the various bandages and gauzes within this kit, or even the the stitch wire. Excuse me. Here we have some information about the various medications that are contained within this kit, including allergy advice, and all that relevant information. We've got some burn gel in here, liquid ibuprofen capsules, some stronger painkiller cocodamol. Here we have a slimline card magnifier. Obviously this is good for looking at injuries close up, or detecting particles in an eye, for example, or last ditch scenarios. Can also be used to start a fire. Kept in its own protective little wallet there. Over here we have some more allergy tablets, antihistamines, for those people that suffer from allergies. Over here we have some butterfly suture strips, which basically are peeled off individually and placed over a cut or a wound to keep the skin together so it heals up and stops bleeding. Very easy to use, you know, anyone can use these. They're essentially like a plaster and can sometimes mean that you can avoid having stitches. Over here we have several of these. These are essentially sutures of varying thickness and length, hermetically sealed, medically sealed, and obviously these can be used to stitch up more serious injuries. And one of these is actually meant for internal use. I'm not qualified to do anything along those lines, but you know, why not have one in here? It won't hurt ultimately, and it's a very lightweight and compact item. I would have a go if need be with a external stitch, you know, such as cuts to the arm, hand, etc., leg. Maybe I wouldn't do the prettiest job, but I know enough to be able to get that done. So that's the purpose of carrying these. Over here we have some more of those butterfly steri-strip sutures. These are slightly larger for slightly larger cuts. Here we've got some codidromol, another strong painkiller, and some more what's this one? Codidromol again. Now the reason I've got cocodamol and codidromol is some of them don't react well with certain people. Like myself for example, the codidromol actually made me feel really sick and queasy. That's why I was prescribed the cocodamol, and that seemed to agree with me better. And obviously, as I said earlier on in the video, a painkiller, you know, is a psychological thing essentially. Obviously it doesn't help you heal in any way, it just helps you get over your pain and get on with the task in hand. You know, even if it's just waiting out for rescue, you know, it's easier if you're not in constant pain and you're not thinking about the pain so much. Here we have some sterile wipes, alcohol wipes, just normal alcohol rubs, just for cleaning wounds, disinfecting, or even just cleaning your hands and face if need be, before, you know, proceeding to treat someone. Over here we have a mirror, which obviously can be used for, you know, to remove stuff from your own eye, or equally it could be used to you know, see around odd angles, or even as a signalling device. Here we have some surgical tape. Obviously lots of uses for that, including keeping any kind of gauzes or pads in place. You know, can even be used to secure, I don't know, your tent if need be, to make repairs on it. You know, a multiple use item again. Over here we have some diarrhea relief tablets. And here we just have a container with several other pills, including vitamin C and water purification tablets, which are over here as well, a small button compass, as I said, water purification tablets, a small button compass, and a couple of codidromol tablets again. The reason I have that in there, the compass, is just because, you know, ultimately a compass can always be handy in a survival situation, get you to safety or get you to where you need to go. Over here we just have some more alcohol wipes, just for hand cleaning, etc. Here we have a small sachet of silica gel, which, if any moisture does get inside the kit, this should absorb it. And at the bottom we have a selection of plasters, obviously for smaller injuries, although this one's quite large. And we've got some like corn plasters, you know, if you get blisters when you're walking, etc. Also have some sterile surgical blades. Sorry, non-sterile surgical blades, but ultimately they can be sterilized. Got these plasters, large selection of plasters, a pair of nice tweezers, close down nice and accurately and can really get a good grip on something, you know, such as, I want to remove a tick with it, but you know, a large splinter can easily be pulled with this. And finally, over here we have a flashlight. This is an ITP light, really bright, 3 modes of operation. Now, you know, they run on lithium. This one it's ultra compact, and I literally bought this just for the purpose of sticking it inside this kit. I mean, good thing about these batteries is, you know, they kind of last forever, as in sell by date wise. I think this has got like 6 years shelf life left, so I can just leave it in here and not really worry about it. Now, the reason I've got a flashlight in here is because obviously if you come across an injury in the dark, then you know you want to be able to treat that. You know, you're not going to be stitching anything if you can't see anything. You never know, you might stitch their hand to their knee by accident or something along those lines. But in all seriousness, yeah, you really need some kind of light in your medical kit. A small one is even better, that you can like stick in your mouth and work over somebody, although that's not ideal because obviously the chances of salivating on them increase, so you'd probably want to kind of keep it at a distance so you don't, you know, cause them any problems later on. Equally, a headlight would work very well in this kit, but you know, I've chosen to go with this. The idea behind this kit is, you know, that it's for more than one person, so ultimately someone else should be there to hold the light whilst someone else does the work. Also, I have a spare battery in here. So these 2 batteries combined on low mode in here will give me a run time of about 2 weeks. So you know, that's why I chose it for a bug out kit. Also, the fact that these CR123s are lithiums means that operating in cold weather isn't such a problem. You know, you're good down to about -10 before these batteries are adversely affected, whereas with normal nickel metal hydride or, you know, just standard alkalines, the cold will start really affecting them badly after it gets to about 0 or even about 5 degrees C. And over here we just have a couple of AAA batteries, good quality ones, just because you never know. I've got a whole bunch of other lights that work on AAAs. My GPS works on AAAs, so yeah, just have them in a nice waterproof container. So now it's going to take me about 4 hours to pack all this stuff back up, but that was basically a look at my, you know, level 1 and level 2 first aid kits. I think, you know, I'm capable of using everything that's there, definitely without a problem. Obviously I'm not going to be performing any kind of internal surgery, as I'm not qualified to do that, and frankly a survival situation isn't a good place to learn. You kind of want to be proficient with your skills by that point, for the sake of whoever you're helping. I think, you know, I'm covered for my abilities here. I think it's a good little kit. It's got a lot of firepower, and yet, you know, it's small and light enough to be carried around in a bug-out bag or that kind of scenario. So I hope you find this video useful. Hope it gave you some good ideas. You know, it is all about ultimately helping out other people, or, you know, helping yourself if need be. So these skills are obviously good for, you know, several people, not just for yourself. So it's good to know some first aid, you know, if you're involved in any kind of outdoors group activities. The chance for you to help someone is always there. So I think I'll draw it to a close now. This has been Alloutdoor1. You guys take care out there, have fun, stay safe. Goodbye for now.